feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of Double X.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You are listening to ROYCE Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, ROYCE Live Worldwide.
That's right, you tell them, little buddy. You tell them, world. You listen to Late Night with ROYCE Live Worldwide. And the beautiful Kelly Holland out of Baltimore, Charm City. Stay tuned, everybody. We got a great guest for you tonight. He's from Charm City. That's right. Outskirts. Beautiful, beautiful Baltimore. All right, don't let the news fool y'all. Worse stuff happening other places. That's right. Check the world news out. All right, let's see what's going on in Kelly's world. My good friend Kelly Holland, she makes me laugh. What's up, Kelly Holland? What's going on?
Hey, Batman. Hey, Baltimore.
Hey,
How's
hey,
everybody?
Baltimore, we hanging in there. That's right.
Okay.
We made it through the heat wave. Man, oh man. So how are you, Kelly, since the last time I saw you on Zoom? How are you?
Doing well, Batman. How are you? How's the family?
Yeah, we are good. Yeah, just came. We went to visit the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, the Sandy Point. It was nice. I told everybody the rumors weren't true. I said Governor Hogan didn't play when he was in office. He cleaned up all the parks.
Definitely did some beautification to the parks and the waterworks department.
Yeah.
And you see a lot more playgrounds in the Rex and Parks area as well.
Yeah.
No complaints here, Batman.
Yeah, all the major league teams banded together and built nice playgrounds for the small kids. And I didn't even see a bottle top at the park. And I was looking.
That's what I'm talking
my
about.
sister-in-law said that.
Farm filth.
Yeah, my sister-in-law told me Sandy Point was dirty. I said no, because I took the kids there when they were like 10 and 11. It was nice. You know, when
last time I went, it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I went during Martin O'Malley's era, and it was cleaned up nice. You know, so what is she talking about?
Lock them up, O'Malley, huh?
Yeah. He cleaned it up, man. There was a lot of different ethnic groups of people just chilling and grilling and picnicking and all that stuff. People had their coolers. People don't play when they bring their cooler. There was one guy. My wife said, "Look at that guy right there. He must be a pro beach guy. He had one of those wagons on two wheels with a kickstand." And he was able to he loaded 5 beach chairs and the cooler on that bad boy and carried it out by itself.
I know that's right.
Family was still in the water.
Yeah, he's a pro.
Yeah.
He's a pro, man. He was made for that trip.
Because he knew the kid, he wouldn't be able to get the kids out the water. So he just went and loaded up. I said,
that's how you do it. Just say we leaving.
And I said, he must got a big SUV to carry. That thing looked like it hit you on the back of a truck. It was so big.
What was he driving?
It was made out of plastic, but it had like big dune buggy wheels on it.
It's probably on Team U. Go ahead, try Team U.
Yeah, but it looked like it take up some space though. Man, you got to be driving at least a Infiniti QX60 or something. That thing was huge.
That big one.
Yeah, because I know you didn't hit it on the back of his truck. It was made out of plastic.
Cool.
So that was interesting. I should have took a picture of that guy. I meant to take a picture, but I was so fascinated I forgot to snap. Man,
I do that all the time, Batman. You're like, look at this. And you're so busy trying to get other people to see what you see. You don't even pull out your phone.
I know. My wife and I had like a real engaged conversation about that guy. I said, man, where he? I'm gonna look for that thing. I mean, I couldn't get it in my little car. I couldn't get in the BMW, but I could drag it. I could carry
cars
it.
We purchase, Batman. We don't want that extra stuff on it.
Man,
Okay?
I was trying to, and look, I feel so bad though. I said, how am I gonna bring the kids with this car? I said, we only can get like 2 chairs in it, and the cooler, and my little cooler, and put that in the back seat. Yeah, and Mimi can't come. They said no dogs allowed.
On the beach? Are you serious?
Yeah, I think it was certain parts they couldn't be in. I think you can bring them to the picnic area, but not to the sand part.
Why not?
Man, people don't want to see no dog fights. People can't control the animals. Man, I seen so many dog fights at the 5K. It was ridiculous.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm just glad everybody and their fur babies get to get out, enjoy this nice weather, commune with one another, enhance your body skills in areas. This is the time.
I saw an old coworker today, and it was good that their whole family's out walking. And I remember he used to tell me he didn't like exercising.
Listen, once you get the motivation in, you can stick to it.
Yeah, he may hang out with me boxing. He's thinking about going boxing with me. I'm gonna hold him to
You know what? You done caught him. You done caught him in his peak.
I'm gonna hold him.
Take him up on it.
I want to see him box because he got a lot of hair. I don't know if he gonna be able to make it. He gonna overheat.
You think he gonna overheat, man?
He gonna have to cut his hair. He got too much hair.
Wait till you get to the show to say he gonna overheat.
He might get hurt. He might hit himself in the eye.
Oh my God!
I hit myself in the eye last week. I had to start wearing my headband correctly.
I haven't hit myself in the eye, but I've definitely left the gym with a black eye from the sweat. Not a black eye, a closed eye from the sweat that's getting into it, and it just kept swelling up. Yeah. And people thought I had took a right hook, and I'm like, no, this is just the sweat. I kept rubbing my eye, and I was sweating.
That boxing is no joke, man. My area be wet. Don't come over here, you might slip.
Oh Lord!
With a rubber mat. Yeah, man, I was sweating. I came down from 199 to 285. I mean, I was like, what was that? 199.
And ability, you're trying new things to stay fit. It's not just working out at the gyms primarily, and you've been able to reverse your diabetes. You've been able to stay healthy during COVID. Yep.
Cholesterol is normal.
Doing what you're doing, Batman.
That's right. I was kind of amazed how many people was going to, how some you go to the gym, like my son and I, we had like an inside joke every year in January.
Batman,
the club.
You hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Kelly can't hear me. Is my mic on? Oh, Kelly dropped, so she'll be right back. All right, hold tight, everybody. We got a great show for you tonight. We got Mr. Brown. That's right. Nelson Brown is here to talk about his last book and some of the good work he's doing in the community as we wait for Kelly Holland, because my time is almost up. Okay, there you go, Kelly. Yeah, that was you, Kelly.
Hey, Batman, what I do?
Your Wi-Fi died on you.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. But look, what I was saying, man, my son used to have an inside joke every January at Planet Fitness. It'd be packed,
goodness.
New members.
The people with the resolutions, the resolutions
packed,
in there.
Packed up in there, boy. You can't even get on a treadmill to save your life. I said, well, let's see how long it's going to be before they fall off the wagon, man. By the time March rolled around, they gone. By the time that little sun come out,
they completely gone.
They gone. But not this time. Not this time. They still hanging in there. People are shredding fat. People are getting, they had to add extra machines in there, like Smith machines and stuff. The Instagram, nice. I think the Instagram era with the Instagram models had encouraged people to take it to the next level. And I'm seeing people that are skinny on the treadmill. I was like, why are you on the treadmill?
Please go somewhere else.
I know you're in the way for us fat people.
You lift a weight or something.
Yeah, but they own them. But they get on. I think what the new thing is, you lift weights first, and then you get on the treadmill
for your cool down.
I don't know. I heard Kim Kardashian's personal trainer say that on Jay Shetty's show. Yeah,
let's keep it real. They buy their bodies and then try to condition it.
But she was fat though. I remember the trainer. She used to be big. Yeah, but I think but also it helping people with their depression and stuff. So I think when you start out lifting the weights, it's doing something to the hormones. It's something crazy. It's like only a scientist can explain it, but. The guy that I follow on YouTube, Dr. Michael Diamond, I think he does what I do. He does the cardio first, then the weightlifting.
That's what I'm familiar with, man.
Yeah,
you get in the gym, you warm up, and then you get into your workout.
Yeah, that's what I do. I like to get on the treadmill for 45. Because I know if I don't do it, then I'm not going to get back on it. I'm not going to get on it.
You might as well start there, right?
I'm going to get cardio over to the car. So I like the way I do it. Get the heart rate up, then go lift weights and stuff,
I try to burn like 200-300 calories on the treadmill before I start my workout.
That's right. I want to see what's going on in the gym first too before I be sitting there not watching people. I watch people watching when I'm on the treadmill. See what's going on.
What you watching for?
Watching TV. Just want to see, who's in here.
Oh, you be people watching when you on the. Okay, I get it
just
now.
Just like going down the harbor, you just watch people, see what they doing, how they behave.
I thought you came in scoping the scenery out.
No, it's the same old thing. I just starting to get familiar with some of the same faces, and because I do different times. I do like the 12 o'clock time better, but then I got to stay at work longer. So what I do is I may roll in there like 5 or 6. Stay for an hour or two, and then sometimes we go later. Like depending on what our podcast is, we may like tonight I couldn't go because it'd be too late for me to go now.
Well, listen, I've heard you come out the gym after the podcast plenty of times.
I know,
man.
it depends. It depends. I feel like driving. Sometimes I feel like driving.
See, you and your son be in there for the midnight crew.
Yeah, I try to get in there early. My energy seems to be better earlier. I want to be sitting in my theater watching a movie. A series or something.
At midnight. He said not working out, damn it.
Right. Drinking a cold beverage, man. Chilling.
Well, at least a cold beverage. Look at you, Batman. The weight gainer.
I like that sparkling water, flavored water. I love that.
Oh my gosh. Somebody get this man an old duels. He ain't drinking for real.
Sparkling water is good, man. It's very refreshing, especially when it's cold, real ice cold, man. But anyway, I got to get off of here. It's time to bring Mr. Brown on here, Mr. Nelson Brown, talk about his journey in the world of advocacy. His
impressive resume, for sure.
Yeah. I told that dude he's going to be Mr. Mayor soon. He's going to be the next...
He's taking out Brandon Scott?
Yeah, Brandon Scott's job. He's going to take Brandon Scott. Nobody can run against Brandon Scott because he's just too honest. People say they're voting for honesty now. They don't care what he didn't do, what he's going to do. They want honesty. We had too many thieves in the political arena. Too many criminals.
He definitely stood his ground. I will say that.
That dude might be president next. He's just so honest. That's his ticket.
Vote for him.
That's his campaign. I'm honest. But that's good enough for me.
No complaints here.
Right,
that's
especially
for sure.
that circus we've been having lately. I don't care if Sleepy Joe is on his last toe.
Oh my gosh, you should have heard the sermon on Sunday talking about who the best out of the least. That's all we got.
Sleepy.
One ain't in tune with anybody because he too daggone sleepy, and the other one he's stuck on lies and impeachment
to me
clauses.
It's about the team. Who got the best team? The criminal side or the honest side? I don't know. I just people do what they want. Just do what's good for you.
I don't think people are voting for Trump the same reason the majority of black people voted for Barack.
Yeah.
They just racist stuff.
Yeah, just that guy. They go down with the ship. They don't care. We're going down.
They do not care.
I know. I got an interesting flick I'm gonna send you. You're gonna like it, okay? All right, well, let's bring Mr. Brown, this honest guy. I remember I met this guy, man. He don't look like he kill a fly. What's up, Mr. Brown? Welcome to Late Night, man. Did you have your coffee, your tea, your green tea? You ready for Kelly Holland?
Got your caffeine in?
That's right. You get in your protein bar. What's up?
Good evening, and thank you guys for having me. It's been a while since this is actually my first interview since I've been... since I ended my podcast last year. I've been so busy with other initiatives, but I'm glad that I've managed to hop on with you guys. I've been enjoying the conversation between you two about everything.
Yeah, man, that's how we roll, right? That's how we roll. We try to get it all in 10 minutes.
Banter.
I know, it's my neighbor. I don't see her across the fence anymore. So I got to get it in. All right, well, look, Kelly Holland, you have a great show. You and Mr. Brown. I'm right here if you need me. Have a great show. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Batman. And thank you for joining us this evening. Please let our listeners know who you are and what it is that you do, sir.
Well, thank you, Ms. Holland, again for allowing me to appear on your broadcast this evening. My name is Nelson Brown. For everybody who doesn't know, where do I start? I've done a lot of stuff. So I can first say what I do for a living. I'm an auditor for the Maryland Department of Assessment and Taxation tax credit programs. But prior to that, I graduated from college from CCBC, the Community College of Baltimore County, And from UMBC, the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, I have degrees in sociology and certificate in the social dimensions of health. While I was still in high school, I had a chance to serve as an intern for the Maryland Department of the Environment's Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Program. And during the pandemic, I was able to work in the geriatric field within the senior population at MedStar Health through a nonprofit organization called Civic Works Incorporated. So I managed to help create the Baltimore City House Call Coalition for a lot of the low-income residents, the homebound seniors in Northeast Baltimore. I had a chance to work briefly with MDH on procurement responsibilities within the fiscal services unit. And I also, I've written and self-published 3 books.
Amen.
3 of my own books. The Beauty in Us, Our Reality, Volume 1, The Beauty in Us, Vulnerable Masculinity, Volume 2, and The Beauty in Us, Our Souls in Armor. And I was also able to successfully run and produce an internet-based show with Awesome God Radio called The Beauty in Us Radio during the pandemic. But now I've shifted my focus towards my work with the Randallstown chapter of the NAACP, and I serve under the Economic Development Committee, and we're geared towards, right now, revitalizing the Liberty Road corridor for Baltimore County.
Amen.
Well, and I've also, yes, and I've also served as an intern for U.S. Senator Ben Carter's Baltimore office.
Oh, wow.
And I was able to focus primarily on assisting constituents with immigration and passport-related concerns. So I've been able to have the blessing and the privilege of just working with so many amazing people, and I'm bringing all of that knowledge and expertise to my roles and responsibilities now, not just on my day job, but also with the Randallstown chapter of the NAACP as we work to revitalize the Liberty Road corridor in Baltimore County.
That is amazing. Can you share any details about the revitalization program?
Well, right now we're working towards revitalizing Liberty Road. So I serve under the Economic Development Committee, and the Economic Development Committee is primarily centered around implementing local efforts and supporting national programs to preserve and expand economic empowerment amongst African American people and other communities of color. Mm-hmm. So we do that by researching and establishing relationships with both private and public entities. We also support the work of our national office and just monitoring activities and progress in private and public efforts that are designated by our national programs. And we implement local efforts to promote growth of business ownership. And we do our best to create jobs, increase employment. And we also like to encourage business development as well as increase home ownership amongst our people of color. And our mission statement as a committee is to support and encourage business development opportunities and to improve our relationships with the local, federal sector as well as the state sector in all forms of government. And and we also focus on improving the quality of life for a lot of minorities and the economic stability of our local communities. So these are some of the mission statements and the goals of our committee for our chapter. So right now, like I mentioned before, we're revitalizing the Liberty Road corridor simply because throughout the years, we've seen a lot of systemic practices that have kept a lot of communities, predominantly Black and brown communities, divided from a lot of other neighborhoods that are receiving much more attention and much more time. We see a lot of redevelopment efforts that are taking place and a lot of other neighborhoods that are not, that are predominantly, white. But in terms of our Black and brown communities along Liberty Road, we've seen a lot of systemic practices such as racism, redlining, and blockbusting. And it's been very, very difficult for us to keep small business owners along the Liberty Road corridor. It's been very difficult for us to find supermarket chains, pharmacies, restaurants who are willing to, provide their services and their business to the residents who live along the Liberty Road corridor. So since Liberty Road has been subjected to so much systemic racism and redlining and blockbusting, we created a lot of task forces that have been designed to help revitalize the area.
Quick question. What are you talking about when you speak of Liberty Road receiving racist blocks and things of that nature? Because when I approach Liberty Road in Baltimore County, that Randallstown area, I see nothing but ethnic types of establishments. You see the Arabic community, the Asian community. You'll see the African community. You'll even see the Jamaican community. I just see nothing but culture.
Well, with the entire history of Liberty Road, to start off, we're trying to primarily focus on the northwest section of Baltimore County, which covers Randallstown, Owings Mills, Pikesville, and even portions of Reisterstown. Mm-hmm. But with the Randallstown specifically, today, it's a predominantly African-American community. But a lot of our residents have issued complaints with our chapter, not only about not having access to more grocery stores, more pharmacies.
That is the problem. They have shut down grocery stores and pharmacies in Randallstown. That is true.
Yes, grocery stores, pharmacies, healthcare facilities. A lot of people express the desire to have more restaurants, more of a variety of restaurants, and other small businesses. Some of the, duplicate businesses that a lot of people have seen along the Liberty Road corridor consists of, for example, a lot of auto body shops, dollar stores, liquor stores, storage facilities. A lot of these same establishments keep popping up. So because that has taken place, especially during the pandemic, we lost a lot of businesses during the pandemic. So
it was the markets for me.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
You have to go to Owings Mills if you want good quality food, if you can get to Owings Mills, because the bus line isn't really, we have one, but I don't know how helpful it is to persons that take mass transit. I have a quick question for you. Does your program also offer help to the homeless communities? Those that are residing in the Northwest Baltimore County area, just because Maryland is a sanctuary state. And, we take on persons without proper identification, without proper U.S. citizenship, and we provide those same persons with medical care, housing, and so forth.
Yes, we do have a committee that is focused on assisting the homeless and also addressing the health disparities amongst people of color. So we do have a committee that is dedicated towards helping our homeless population and those who are considered to be low income or and such. So we do have that available. So that's something that we also address with a lot of our residents and even with our stakeholders and other legislators.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So that's something that we also address. But like I mentioned before, with the Liberty Road corridor, right now we have a couple of initiatives that we're focusing on. Like I mentioned before, food insecurity has become a huge problem, and that's an initiative that I've taken on as a member of the chapter, and with my colleagues with the chapter. We have focused on bringing more, like I said, more supermarket chains, more healthcare facilities, and more of a variety of restaurants to the Liberty Road corridor. We have a grocery outlet that's coming to Milford Mill, across from the Milford Mill Shopping Center.
Where they tore down the Giants?
Yes. So where the former Giant used to be, that's currently being renovated, and it's being demolished, and it's being built into the new grocery outlet. It'll include Aurora Farms, the liquor store, unfortunately, will be staying. We have a new AutoZone that's coming that's replacing the Mid-Atlantic seafood restaurant that used to be there, and the former Shoppers location will be turned into a rec center, and we'll also have the expansion of the Randallstown Library, so that'll be included there too. And that building will also be demolished, and that'll be turned into a rec center and the new library. So we have a lot of important projects that we're working on at the moment. But again, we're trying to we're trying to bring more small business owners back to Liberty Road who are providing, more of a variety of establishments. Like I said, more grocery stores, more pharmacies, more healthcare facilities. We want small business owners to stay because a lot of investors and developers don't really see the potential in a lot of neighborhoods that consist of a lot of Black and brown residents. And what a lot of people don't know is that Randallstown at one point was a predominantly Jewish community.
In the 90s.
In the early 90s, late 80s. But because of gentrification,
they moved.
A lot of the Jewish, a lot of people in the Jewish community, moved to areas such as Pikesville.
And Upper Park Heights.
Yes, right, in Northwest Baltimore. Yes, absolutely. So, Randallstown through the 90s became a majority Black and brown community. But like I said before, we're trying to work with our small business owners, our public and private entities, to figure out how we can really support our small business owners because we see the potential in the Liberty Road corridor, and we see the need for more grocery stores, more of a variety of markets, restaurants, healthcare facilities, just so that our not just our Black and brown people, but just even our seniors and our young families, we want to make sure that they have access to these things, especially with the value of homes, especially in Randallstown.
Increasing.
So the property
value is increasing. Right.
Yes.
And those that live out here know that your property taxes went up substantially this 2024 season. And I wasn't really sure what that was about, but now that I see that there's work being put into place within the city, and so that helps with the extra money, I guess. But my question is, the NAACP that you're working with, are they located by Marion Drive?
Well, no. The NAACP, I'm with the Randallstown chapter of the NAACP. I think that our one of our, neighbors, the Marion Drive location, that's the Baltimore City branch. This is the Randallstown branch that I'm a member of. I'm the member of the Randallstown chapter of the NAACP. You're referring to the Baltimore City chapter.
I was. Yes. And I'm just doing so because I had no idea, and I'm not sure if our listeners had any idea that the NAACP was spread out and that they are in your community. We don't really know that we have advocacy all the time. You think you have to go to your state senator or government, but we also have our own resources in the brown and Black communities. That's awesome.
Yes, it is. It's definitely, it's a great opportunity. And being a member of the chapter, I've been a member for the chapter for almost a year now, and I've loved every minute of it, between all of our committee meetings, between meeting with our president of our chapter, between, even with our, engagements with our elected officials and with other community organizers. I've loved the fact that I've made such great progress throughout the year, just advocating for a lot of our seniors, a lot of our families. Because
do you work with the Department of Aging when you say you're connecting with the seniors?
I work for the State Department of Assessment and Taxation, but I do have a lot of my colleagues that I worked with in college while I was an intern. I do have a lot of colleagues who do work at the Department of Aging for the state of Maryland. So I've been successfully able to introduce their services and their programs to a lot of the members of the community in Randallstown and some of our other neighborhoods in the northwest area of Baltimore County. So it's been such a blessing.
That's great. I'm glad to hear these things. Had no idea you guys are making such an impact in the community, and I'm glad to hear it. Also, that rec center that you're going to put there in place of Giant, that is amazing because there's not much for the youth to do out here. In that Randallstown area. I don't live too far from it. I'm in the Pikesville area. So I can resonate with the stores, the shortages, the issues that we are receiving in our community. It's unfortunate that the liquor store is able to remain while everything else is being torn down and renewed for our benefit. But I
I guess that's something we'll have to get around like we always do, huh?
Yes, absolutely. And also, and the participation from the community, I always say it's very imperative for a lot of our neighborhood associations to be a part of these decisions, and to be at the table and a part of this process, because a lot of people don't understand the work that goes into really advocating for these establishments to, come to the neighborhood. It involves conversations with the property owners, the investors, the developers, because, of course, at the center of all of this, it's all about making money. So we see the potential in the Liberty Road corridor, and it requires all of us to really band together and really make an impact and really bring this to our legislators and bring these ideas and suggestions to our elected officials so that they can advocate for us and so that they can make this a priority, because we see redevelopment efforts taking place in other communities that are not filled with predominantly Black and brown people. And we see a lot of homes that are being built. We see the value of homes increase in other areas. And even though the value of homes are increasing in Randallstown, a lot of people, end up moving because they don't see the growth. They don't see
exactly.
They don't see the potential. They don't see the type of amenities that they're willing to really pay for in order to raise their families.
Exactly. It doesn't really make sense, the offsets that we do have currently in place. My question to you, Nelson, is what made you a servant leader? Because you are deeply involved. Like, where did this calling come from in your personal life?
Well, in terms of the initiatives, so right now, with the NAACP and with my chapter in Randallstown, I'm focusing on two different initiatives, geriatric care and food insecurity. The geriatric care, my passion for really fighting for seniors, it really stems from the fact that because I had to deal with my dad's passing during the pandemic on January 23rd of 2021. And after my dad's passing, I had a lot of time to reflect. I had a lot of time to really examine, I guess not just how his death had an impact on me, but how important it is for a lot of our loved ones, a lot of our seniors, to really have someone advocating for them, because I feel as though my dad was not in the hands of the best caregivers, and he didn't really have people in his corner who really advocated for him the way they should have. And I feel like it's very important for us to really have to advocate for our seniors. And as we age, we want to be as independent as possible. We want advocates. Every senior needs an advocate. Every senior needs someone to vouch for them, because a lot of seniors, of course, are in very vulnerable positions as they age. And we have a lot of caregivers. We have a lot of people who are, making a lot of sacrifices to ensure that their loved ones are aging in place and receive their independence as much as possible, and who want to have access to health care, stable housing, affordable housing, and just to make sure that their needs are met. So I think that after examining after examining what my dad went through in terms of, like I said, his passing, him not having, the best advocates and caregivers, that enticed me to want to really make an investment in the field of geriatrics, just to really figure out how I can really help other families with seniors and their needs to ensure that they're met to the best of their abilities. And with food insecurity, I've really noticed, I take it, with my personal story. I used to be, overweight. I grew up overweight. I had a terrible self-image growing up. I've written about it in my books. I've talked about it on my podcast previously. And with food insecurity, in my books, I always talked about just how I had this very tumultuous relationship with food because of my low self-esteem and because of a lot of traumatic experiences or situations that I may have encountered in my life that led me to using food as an outlet and food as a source of comfort, but it also became a crutch for me. So I look at food insecurity as a way to, in terms of addressing that, I look at that as an outlet for me to really encourage people, especially young people and even children, how important it is to really stay active and how important it is to really eat healthy and how important it is to just not only choose healthy foods and healthy meals, but also to feel better about yourself. That's what I've written about in my books, how to improve your self-image and the ways to do that and how to really feel comfortable in your own skin. That's what I've written about in my books. That's what I talked about in my podcast. And that's really at the core of everything that I do and everything I bring to the table. So in terms of just addressing those two initiatives, I guess that's a little bit of the backstory with addressing those two initiatives. And I realized that in order to really see change, I have to really be the change that I want to see. It starts with me.
Definitely.
And I feel like I have a lot of knowledge and expertise, and even with my own personal experience, I'm able to bring that to the table, and I'm able to share that with others. And with the testimonies that I can share can really inspire others to want to do the same thing. I've in the midst of me, going to college, graduating from college, having all these fantastic internships, and even joining the Randallstown chapter of the NAACP, I was also able to work on the campaigns of several legislators in the city of Baltimore, and I've been able to work closely with a couple of my legislators who represent my district on various issues that impact the community. And by doing that, I've been able to meet so many different people between, campaigning and door knocking and really, putting together fundraisers and just really, again, facilitating that community engagement that people look forward to. Like I said, I used to be a very, very shy child. I used to be very, very reserved. I had a really hard time recognizing my unlimited potential because of just a lot of obstacles that I saw in my way. But after I finished college, it really gave me an opportunity to just look at my accomplishments and just to feel great about them, and just to thank God first and foremost for allowing me to have those experiences and to meet the people I've met, and just to build those relationships, those friendships, and just to have supportive people in my corner.
Well, not even just that, but also to create that advocate for others. Because just like you said, the representation is definitely needed. Certain age groups get taken advantage of. They're not always in tune with the upgrades of certain policies or formalities. Most people are told to send an email. Everybody doesn't know how to work that function or have that capability. And then sometimes people just get left out. So I'm grateful that not that you had that tumultuous situation, but because it inspired you to grow to a point where your mission became helping others. Your mission became getting involved in where it counts, not just some sole organization you opened up, which is also helpful, but you're able to make a greater impact at the level that you have explained with us this evening. So we're glad to have you on, and we're glad that others are able to feel the greatness that you are bringing to the NAACP chapters. What would be your advice for someone that wants to get involved or volunteer or just do more within their community?
I would definitely encourage, in terms of my advice, I would definitely encourage people to really think about what motivates them to wake up and do what they do in the morning, because I think that our passion begins with what we love to do, what we enjoy doing, and how we can really use that talent, that skill, that ability to really help someone. So I think that it first starts with us, and it starts with just figuring out what motivates you to wake up in the morning, what motivates you to get through your day, what motivates you to want to do something for the good of someone else. So these are some of the questions that I always encourage people to think about when people always ask, well, how can you become a leader? How can you get involved in these things? I just think that it starts with whatever it is that you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be, specifically one initiative over another. Whether it's, feeding the homeless, whether it's making sure that people have affordable housing, whether it's making sure that people have access to affordable health care, whether it's volunteering to help kids read at school, whether it's volunteering at a food bank, whether it's volunteering at a church, whether it's really starting your own community association, any avenue where you feel as though people's needs aren't being met, you can use whatever it is that you're passionate about and really make a difference. Whether it's, being an advocate for military families, whether it's, fighting against substance abuse, whether it's being a strong advocate for mental health, civil rights. I mean, we can go down the list. But I just think, again, it starts with you asking that question. What really motivates you to get up in the morning? What is it that you enjoy doing? How can you really make that hobby or that knack that you have into something that can really be a benefit to someone else's life? Because when we look at leadership, we have to remember that, people who are in leadership positions or people who are true leaders and natural-born leaders are people who know how to really make a positive impact in the life of someone else. Not, use their talent, skills, and abilities to get richer, to make money, or to just really fulfill their own needs, but someone who's willing to make that sacrifice in order to ensure that the needs for other people are met. I think that's the definition of a natural-born leader, not someone who, uses their talent, skills, and abilities to get richer or to just, really just do things that are self-serving or self-centered, but someone who's willing to really make that sacrifice for other people and to really, benefit their lives in some way or another. So I think that, like I said, that's a natural-born leader to me. And that's what I try to keep at the forefront of my mind. And I always try to find other people who have that in common with me, because it's always great to have, people to help hold you accountable. It's always great for you to have people in your corner who are going to motivate you and to become your best and pick you up when you fall and really help you with your challenges, because we are all learning something every day. And we all have our strengths and we all have our challenges, but it's our job to really get a group of people together and really, it's our job to really motivate each other to become our best and to just,
I can't agree with you more.
Yes. And help each other understand, what we're capable of and how we can really persevere and just, again, just outline all our strong qualities and then motivate each other to really overcome our challenges in some way by adding our own expertise.
Exactly. Let's bring it all to the forefront. Nelson, tell us about your books. You mentioned the 3-part books, but how can we find them and how can we support you outside of your passion? How can we support your other endeavors, and where are you hosting or performing or is giving a speech where we can come and learn more information? Please plug away.
Yes. So with my books, like I mentioned earlier on in the interview, in this show, my books, I have 3 books. The Beauty in Us, Our Reality, Volume 1, that was released in the summer of 2018. So that book is a memoir about just me growing up and me from the age of 5 through the age of 18. So that's a memoir that I self-published and wrote back in 2018. So all of that book is available on Amazon, and so are the others. But like I said, that's a memoir, The Beauty in Us, Our Reality. You can find that on Amazon, and you can order it anytime you want, and you're free to leave a review, and you're free to, again, you're free to order as many as you want. It's an easy read. Like I said, it's a memoir about my self-image growing up from the age of 5 to 18. With the second volume, The Beauty in Us, Vulnerable Masculinity, that was released in February of 2020. So I was able to write that book and self-publish that right before the pandemic started.
What does that title mean?
The Beauty in Us, Vulnerable Masculinity. It's a book of poems about just a man's insecurities. So I was able to really get a book of poetry together. So it's a book of poems. So I was able to write some poems and I was able to put them together. And I wanted to figure out at the time a way to really convey the message to readers, how men wear insecurities, the insecurities that men have about themselves, any flaws that they had. I wanted to really be in the position to convey that through a book of poetry, because I felt like, poetry was the best way to really articulate that. And it's something that, because in a book of poetry, it's very, I like reading poetry personally. It's very eloquent, and it's very, it can give you an opportunity to be as creative as possible. So I was able to use poetry to really convey to the readers how men wear insecurities and what the insecurities of men are. So from a young African American male's perspective. So I was able to jot those poems down, and I was able to put them together in the second volume. And this was written and released right before the pandemic started. And with the third volume, The Beauty in Us, Our Souls in Armor, I was in the position in May of 2021 to really write down letters in the form of prayers. So I was able to jot down a book of prayers, and I was able to really figure out how to really, strengthen my faith, not just for me, but for the people around me. So I was able to jot down prayers in the form of letters to really convey not just my faith, but also my faith in others, the people around me, what it looks like to really pray for relationships and to pray for healing and to really pray for restoration. Because during the pandemic, I had to really, I did a lot of self-reflection during the pandemic. I was able to get rid of a lot of youthful insecurities through therapy and through, again, building new relationships, stronger relationships, and really just learning how to really let myself be more vulnerable and to not beat myself up about things that I don't understand, or just to not be so hard on myself. Because growing up, I was really hard on myself. And I had a lot of low self-esteem, and my self-image wasn't the best. And I was a huge perfectionist growing up. I based my worth and my happiness off of my accomplishments and the things that I did. But it wasn't until the pandemic hit, and once the pandemic started, I was able to realize that, I don't need a bunch of accolades in order to feel worthy about who I am. Who I am stems from, my foundation, my integrity, my character, my legacy. Those are the qualities that make me the man that I am, and the man that I am becoming. So I was able to learn that through the pandemic. So that's what that book of prayers is about. So with all three of these volumes and all three of these books, I was able to really use my creative muscle to my advantage in order to convey to the best of my ability, how men think, how men feel, what they think about, and how they think about it. I just wanted to be in a position to convey, healing, what that looks like, what that feels like, so that people could really understand that from a young African-American male's perspective. And that's a part of the reason why I produced and hosted my show for 3 years with Awesome Guy Radio, The Beauty in Us Radio. I wanted people to really listen to topics from a young African-American male's perspective, because that's not something that people get to hear often. So that's why I wanted to really have that platform and that opportunity to really speak about some of the social issues that people often discuss. But again, having that, that platform that's hosted and produced by a young African-American male gives people a different perspective on a lot of the issues, because we don't really see that as often as we probably should. So I use that as an opportunity to really convey those messages. And I was able to win a couple of awards, for my show and also for my books. So it's been really amazing during the pandemic to have all of these opportunities and to meet so many fantastic people.
Congratulations. How can our listeners reach out to you?
The listeners, they can reach out to me in several ways. You can follow me on my social media platforms. So that could be my social media platforms for Twitter and Instagram are Nelson E. Brown. They can also follow me on Facebook. They can also follow me on LinkedIn at Nelson Brown, or they can just shoot me an email directly at brownNelsone@gmail.com. So if they have any questions or concerns, or if they have an event that they want me to host, or if they have a speaking engagement they would like for me to be a part of, I like to stay open. Like I said, I'm pretty familiar, with a lot of people in and around Baltimore. And again, I was born and bred in Randallstown. I'm familiar with Baltimore County. Like I said, I've been able to make a lot of connections, and I'm always open to new opportunities, new people who are doing amazing things in the community. And I'm just very excited about what my future holds. So ever since, like I said, I turned 25 this year in May, and I'm
Congrats.
Yes, thank you. And I'm just,
You're welcome.
and I'm just loving. I'm just loving every minute of it. I'm loving everything that I do, and I have no regrets about it.
Well, good for you, Nelson. It was an honor to have you on our show. Thank you for letting us know that the county is moving in the right direction, giving us that piece of information, and also sharing your books and your process to healing. It's always great to have a servant leader on, and I'm glad to see that you are closely tied in to the political side of things. So that always helps. Batman, do you have any last words for Nelson Brown?
I just want to say, Nelson, you're doing a phenomenal job. I lived in that area for a while, and I knew it was difficult, trying to get around. Because you like to just pull into a strip mall and be able to do everything, your dry cleaning, your pharmacy. And that area just wasn't, designed for
high
that.
quality restaurants. Yeah. No, it wasn't. But it seems to be going even further down to me, the Randallstown community.
Yeah, especially when they got rid of that crab restaurant where I used to get my crabs. Crab King. What's it called? Crab King?
Oh, man. Then it was like Pig Pickers or something like that. They just went ahead and tore it on down.
I know, man. It's like I went up in there and feel like
get you some good barbecue. Oh, man. Randallstown has had its ups and downs, but when the market started going, I just knew it was over. You got to travel to Owings Mills or Pikesville in order to get good quality food. If you don't want I don't want to bash anyone that shops here, but the Save-A-Lot food isn't always the highest quality or the cleanest establishment to shop in. Yeah. And so, they're leaving you with almost no options.
And you have some discount prices if it's going to be dirty in there.
Oh, goodness. I don't even want the discount prices. I'm scared of food poisoning. Like, is the food So many questions. Many questions. So I'm glad to see that the NAACP is steering this project in order to provide the advocacy needed for the brown communities within the Randallstown area. Amen. So this was a great show, very informative, and I'm so glad you joined us this evening, Nelson Brown.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I remember my brother I was actually networking and partnering with the headquarters when Mafume was running the show. And
I worked for his son.
Yeah, they actually helped us a great deal with our community magazine on the Eastern Shore, because they had a connection there with the NAACP branch on the shore. And my dad was actually an officer on the shore. So they did a lot with the young people as well with the AXO program. And I know... I think Miss A over at Studio A, her and her friends were part of that as well.
I just saw her.
Yeah, her and Jamal and Jerome Brown, all those guys were heavily involved. And even Giselle, I know you guys see Giselle on the Potomac Housewives. She was one of the directors of the Image Awards.
Good for her.
Yeah, so you learn a lot. They help you with leadership as well as other building skills. So I encourage people to join.
My little brother participated in the Studio A program. They had their cotillion and the scholarships for college, and that was really nice. And Darby also in that area with her Maryland Dance Company. She does a lot. Yep.
She over there, Studio A, right in the Home Depot. And I remember when Home Depot came there too, man. That was one of my favorite Home Depots for a minute until The workers don't know where anything is. I got to go to the app.
Oh my gosh, we're always going to have some type of complaint, sir.
I have to go to the app. He said, go to the app. I said, well, what you here for then? Well, anyway.
Oh my gosh, what are you here for? Man, that's not cool. Let's take some time out to send a prayer up to the Lord.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's go.
Wipe away all this craziness.
Appreciate you, brother.
Hold on. We always got time for prayer.
Amen.
Heavenly Father, we thank you this day for your grace and your mercy. We don't always deserve your grace and mercy, and yet you still provided for us, Father, and we are grateful. Thank you for the ultimate sacrifice made in order to give us life. I pray that we are worthy of yourself, worthy of your Son, worthy of your Spirit, and that no hurt, harm, or danger will come towards us as we try to magnify your name with the works we do on this earth. Lord, bless us and keep us in all your ways. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
All right.
Amen, Nelson. You still there, buddy?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right.
Appreciate
So
you,
thank
guys.
you all.
That's right. I just want to say, keep doing what you're doing, man, and hopefully other young people will follow your lead. Amen.
And I'm glad he's spearheading the initiative at the age of 25. He said that I almost laughed like, oh Lord, the babies are taking over.
We're in good hands.
We're in good hands.
That's
because
right.
I like to see promising youth. I see enough youth that's just caught up in reality of today, which is not reality at all, and so I'm grateful that he's focused. That you're making these initiatives, that you have an NAACP connection, that you're working with taxation, that you're helping people in their financial ways. You, sir, are a blessing. So please join us again, Nelson Brown. We have so much more to talk about. And ladies and gentlemen, listeners from all around the world, we thank you for joining us this evening on Positive Power XXI. This is Late Night with Jerry Royce Live and Kelly Holland. And never forget to tap back into your unspeakable joy. Good night, everybody.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of XXI.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
Hi, I'm Al Costo, and I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and you're listening to Jerry Royce Live Podcast, the best international radio station in the whole wide world.
What's good, y'all? It's your man, Scola De Niro from the multi-platinum group, Drew Hill, and I'm proud to say that I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and you're now listening to my man, Jerry Royce Live Podcast, the best international radio station in the whole wide world.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.